Welcome back to that handicapping show. This week we are looking at the $1 million Pennsylvania Derby. 3-year-olds going a mile and 1/8 at Parks Racing, and lucky for them, they land the Dual Classic winner, the near Triple Crown winner in California Chrome. Decides to make his comeback here to Connections ship across to Philly Park, the old former Philly Park, ship to Philadelphia to give it a try here.
They had a million reasons to come east, and is coming off a long layoff. Obviously, the last time we saw him was in the Belmont Stakes. What do you think, Frank? I
mean, certainly, if you just said who's the best horse in this field, you would have to go with California Chrome. He's easily the most accomplished horse. The speed figures are consistently higher than many of these. But on the other hand, he is coming off a layoff. I don't really like the one-hole post for him. I think he potentially could be boxed in. He potentially could go early. I don't think he will, but that's not a good move either in this field. So I think he's probably going to be 3 to 5, 4 to 5. I just have to look elsewhere in this field.
Okay, and where did you look?
Well, I'm looking at Candy Boy and Protonico. Protonico made an incredible run late in the previous race. If you have access to race replays, be sure to look at the Smarty Jones before you decide anything in this field. Just was really boxed in and then was close, nearly last, perhaps second last in early stretch, and just weaved his way through traffic to finally get there right at the wire. But his speed figures are consistently kind of slower than these, so I just wonder if maybe that was the field. So the other horse I was also looking at was Candy Boy, who is coming off a close second in the West Virginia Derby. Seems to be progressing as well. He's kind of just put some nice races together. This horse has been highly thought of throughout, so perhaps he puts it all together here. I guess conceivably I could bet both these to win, because I think the odds will be there enough to legitimize that. But I guess between the two, I'll go with Protonico.
Yeah, and I kind of like informed horses at this time of year. I don't like horses coming off that much of a layoff again, especially even money going across the country, as you said. Being breaking from the one hole, which we saw him on the inside in the Belmont, and that was probably his most uncomfortable performance. I'm going back to the well with Bayern, who completely just kind of stopped in the stretch of the Travers, but I was impressed with his front-running ability in the Haskell. I mean, I think he's a brilliant horse. I don't think Baffert would ship him back to California, give him a couple of good works, and then come back east unless he thought the horse was in good shape. I think he's loose on the lead like he was in the Haskell. I'm going to go that way. I also like Tapiture, who edged out Candy Boy in a photo finish in the West Virginia Derby last time. Again, based on his consistency. I mean, I think, if you look at his PPs, you draw a line through his Kentucky Derby, he's been very consistent, very solid. I would go with those two. So it's interesting that we've gone through this race. We've come up with two different horses here. I
mean, there's definitely some ways to go in this field. It's a very nice field, and it's really must-see TV for Breeders' Cup down the line. Last year, Will Take Charge ran well in this, won this race, and then came out of it, and then ran very well in the Breeders' Cup Classic, nearly winning that race. So it's definitely a race that you can prep for and then run big in the Breeders' Cup.
Absolutely, and also on the card, we didn't mention it or really talk about it too much before the race, but you also have the $1 million Cotillion, which is a grade 1. You've got a great cast of fillies there with Untappable, Stop Charging Maria, and I like Sweet Reason, who's also stretching out, but has won grade 1 races in her last 2 starts.
And I won't go with the winner in that race, but I say Little Alexis hits the board in that race at a price. Very nice race there. Good to know that $1 million can still get some good horses together.
Absolutely.
So I'll go with Protonico in the Pennsylvania Derby, and you are landing on
Bayern.
So, and we'll try our luck with those two. And until next week, good luck.